Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon, even though I've already made a truck ton of videos regarding Disney in some form or another. So for today's video, as you can see, it's going to be a pretty lengthy one, of course. So I guess strap on, I guess. Oh man, that came out dirtier than it should have been. But okay, anyway, it's going to be in regards to Frozen 2. Not that I'm going to be reviewing it because I already did a while ago. But basically, it's going to be a review of a review. So I'm reviewing somebody else's review that came from this podcast or whatever. It's pretty much like a respawn, I guess, like I've been doing as of late. I've been doing for quite some time, really. Even way before this Disney-a-thon. So, yeah, just giving some context here is that they basically done spoke about a bunch of other stuff, but it's just gonna be basically just this, really. But anyway, let's just, oh boy, dive right into it, I guess you can say. So, whatever, here we go.
Episode of Popcorn Heroes.
Popcorn Heroes. What does that even mean?
And today is just me, guys. Today we're doing a lone wolf review of
What the hell is that?
a lone wolf of
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
a lone.
All right, I'm done.
All right,
It's about damn time.
we're doing a lone wolf review of Frozen 2.
No shit.
Alright, don't bore me like the other guys I did talk about before. I mean, they were terrible.
So I'm gonna give you guys a quick synopsis of the movie, and then I'm gonna tell you guys what I thought of it. Give you my review.
Look, here's a woman in a dress. Here's a woman in a dress. Oh, look, she's in a dress. She's singing. She's dancing. She's singing and she's dancing. Oh, look, it's a concert. Look, it's a concert. And it's a concert. Oh, look, it's a concert. She's doing these hand movements. She's with little girls. They're all dressed up. Oh, look, she has a hat. Look, a hat. A hat. Yeah. And oh, look what else. She has a dress. And she's also singing. Yes. Very energetic. Yes, she's very energetic. Energetic. Man, okay, I get it. You don't have to say the word review multiple times. Review. And review. Okay, man, we get it. You don't have to say that, repeatedly, alright? So, just give it the heads up right now. You don't have to repeatedly say that one thing that you're about to do. Just, yeah, it just comes off like you're just wasting time already. That's how it's coming off. That got on my nerves. Just thought I'd let you know.
So this takes place after Frozen 1. Elsa and Anna live in their little world, in their little building. Elsa is queen.
They don't entirely live in a building, but okay.
Of Arendelle, and basically she is called by a magical force, and so she seeks that force.
Okay, we're just gonna miss the whole beginning part where the little kids. That plays an important role. And oh yeah, what about the fact that the father character explains to the kids about this enchanted forest kind of a thing? Oh yeah, again, right in the beginning of the film, clearly establishes that Elsa and her mother has an important relationship. Yeah, you really glance over that. Because since, again, the mother will play an important part of the overall story, later on as it progresses. So, yeah. And this force you're speaking of, it wasn't really a force. It was a voice that was calling out to Elsa intentionally. Star Wars all of a sudden? Yeah, that's a mysterious force. Calling out for Elsa to become a Jedi.
And leads Elsa and Anna to a journey with many characters and many twists and turns along the way.
That's a terrible summary. What about the whole thing that Kristoff wants to marry Anna? And what about the whole bit they actually had a gathering in the beginning of the film? And this sets off the whole plot because it has something to do with this, this blue stuff right here. And let's not forget about that fact that, like I said, they want to play this game and trying to get to know each other and whatnot.
And yeah, I'm gonna give you guys now my rating of it. I give it 4.5.
What? You hardly said anything about the movie, like at all. What, Cliff Notes? That's it?
Yeah, 4.5, 4. Yeah, I really, really liked it. I
Well, honestly, again, your summary of it was terrible. You glanced over a lot of stuff. So, okay, whatever, I guess.
think it's actually better than Frozen 1.
Okay, in some ways, I do believe it is an improvement over the first movie because it sets up this plot a lot more. Okay, that's right.
And probably just because Frozen 1 was so overhyped.
Maybe in your social group, maybe, but it really wasn't. And even if it was, that doesn't necessarily mean the first movie was a bad film by any means. You really can't just say the second movie is better just because the first film got a lot of hype. That in itself isn't enough evidence to provide that it's a superior film. So, yeah.
Unless you, oh, I don't know, explain!
At the time that, like, after a while, you get kind of tired of it. But I felt like Frozen 2,
Again, dude, just because you're sick of hearing something isn't itself enough to say it's a bad movie. Okay, here's an example. The Star Wars fan base acts like the original trilogy of Star Wars like it's the second coming of Jesus. Like it's the single greatest thing of all time. I mean, they're great films, but does that mean they're lesser films just because of that? No. They're still great movies, even if the fan base hyped it up that much. Citizen Kane is often considered to be one of the greatest films of all time. Does that mean it's less of quantity? No. Or Northman Northwest is considered to be one of the best movies ever. Does that mean it's less of quality? No. Same with Godfather 2. It's often listed as one of the best sequels of all time. Does that mean it's less of film? No. Or look at the game Dragon Age Inquisition. It got a lot of praise, and there's many fans that's willing to, dress up as said characters from that one game and act out maybe certain scenes and whatnot because they really, really enjoyed the game. Because it is of quality. Just because something has a lot of praise doesn't mean itself is a lesser film, really. And one of the things I did like about Frozen 2 is that stakes, really. Just because Elsa has all these powers does not mean she's indestructible. She can die. Which reminds me the fact that in the original Snow White and Seven Dwarves, there's an assassination attempt, I guess, which means, yes, even the princess characters or queen characters can actually die. Which makes the entire thing more realistic when you think about it.
had a good message. It was a bit different than Frozen 1.
Like any good sequel, yes, it should be different enough, but similar, yes, but not live in the shadow of the sequel. But how is it different? Explain.
Still the same theme, but just the overall message was
I know what it is, but let's pretend I don't. Okay, explain. Explain that bit of the movie. For me. Do it.
was
You're a bit mumbling there. Yeah, you should have rehearsed this a bit more.
was very positive, very uplifting. I thought the music in this one was really good.
Okay, again, explain. You're not explaining anything. I mean, I did think it was better in the music department because it helps to push the story forward.
I enjoyed some of the songs more, maybe because they weren't overplayed like Frozen 1.
You're doing it again. You're jumping all over the place from subject to subject. I mean, okay, I didn't think it was overplayed, but I'm kind of plot blow after all.
Um,
Never slur on your words, man. Make sure what you're saying is loud and clear. That's not what you're doing clearly.
Comedy-wise, I thought it was really funny.
How is it funny? In which way? At this point, like you were earlier, you're just saying things. The part I like and thought was funny, the whole Samantha bit with Olaf. Okay, that actually was pretty hilarious. Which wasn't even in the script, mind you.
I was laughing throughout the whole movie.
You're doing that again. But, I must ask, alright, what specific part was funny? Like the part where Kristoff is trying to interact with Anna because he's socially awkward. That itself can be funny because it's actually rather relatable for some people. Okay, I bring up Sarah. Yeah, Dragon Age again. She can act like rather quirky in her interactions with some people, especially the people she likes. Again, that makes the character rather relatable. So, it can be funny, potentially. So, there you go.
And I also felt that it pulled at your heartstrings a bit.
Again, pretend I never saw the movie before. You have to explain it. I mean, okay, you're just being lazy. How did you do that? The part where Princess Anna just gave up on everything because she felt like she lost all hope, even if for a brief moment, was actually pretty gut wrenching, really, especially for a princess movie. Yeah.
And yeah, I totally recommend you guys to see it if you guys haven't watched it yet, especially if you're a Frozen fan. Even if you're not a Frozen fan, I'm not such a Frozen fan, but if you're a fan of just like Disney movies and animated movies, this one is definitely a great watch.
But you haven't really said anything. You just said things without explaining anything, really. Yeah.
All right, guys. So now I'm gonna jump into spoiler category territory.
Which I highly doubt will be any better because it did a pretty poor job in the previous thing.
This is gonna be like me going through some pop points and giving it. But since no one else is here, it's not gonna really be a discussion. So if you guys wanna chime in on the social media and tell us what you guys thought about it, that'd be great. So one of the things with the movie that's crazy about it is that Elsa and Anna go basically to
Um, um, what is with you on this thing? Again, you should have rehearsed this a bit better. You know that?
the forest town
What forest town? There was no forest town in the movie. Oh, you mean the Enchanted Forest? That wasn't a town.
where the fog has taken over, and the movie essentially is
You're explaining it wrong again. This fog-like atmosphere thing is basically like a forest field, so to speak, to keep intruders out. Because that was the whole point. Oh yeah, and speaking of the Enchanted Forest and whatnot, it was actually used as a setting for one of the books that they released some time ago. So yeah, there was that, and yes, pretty long, of course, and like an expanded universe kind of a thing, like Star Wars did. And they did like a hypothetical scenario kind of a thing with this book here.
Thanksgiving. Like so the people there have been like the natives there made a deal with Arendelle to like use their magic to.
Do you have a stuttering problem? That's how it come off right there. And again, you got that wrong as well. The people who lived in this area, of course, being the native people, yeah, they were actually having a grudge against the people who lived in Arendelle. So yeah, the Arendelle soldiers actually were trapped in this place as well. And the native people were actually surprised by the fact that Elsa had these powers, because she wasn't supposed to have them at all. Of course, Elsa wants peace, of course, and whatnot. So you didn't bring that up at all.
Use their magic to help Arendelle.
Well, to be exact here, Elsa and Anna's grandparent, I guess you can say, was a scumbag, a bigot, I guess you can say. He actually tricked them, and of course the dam was supposedly came off like a gift when it really wasn't.
And Arendelle also betrays them basically.
Yeah, because this guy was a piece of shit. Again, you're not being specific here, really. So yeah,
He cuts their magic off and then seals the city.
no. The forest itself was placed in an area, sure, but the town itself was not cut away from anything, really. Alright. Arendelle soldiers found out about the truth, they were shocked. So as a result, yes, they had to destroy the dam. So they were able to trust Anna. She had to convince them to do so. Again, you left that out.
And one of the big reveals is that you find out that Elsa's and Anna's mom, is from this forest place. Now the only thing I'm confused about is usually like, is she a spirit? Because she ends up saving Elsa and Anna's dad, and they end up getting married, but they don't really explain that.
Well, actually, they did explain that. Must I remind you of that song, Show Yourself? There's the hint. It's right there. So, yeah, I don't know how to make it more clear than that. Were you really paying attention to the movie?
You know, they don't really explain if she is part of the elements. because she is Elsa Anna's mom lives in the forest town, but she is not a she's not an element. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting to just hold on. Hold on, fuck. You wiped up. Hey, you. Yo, Mudfit. Nah. We knew this, but we didn't know how far it escalated. Hey, look at you. Oh, hey. Nah. Keep this in. Yo, breaking news. Hey. Yo. For you ladies out there in the market, Mike is taken. Hey. Mike is taken. Oh. Freeze those hearts, right, Mike? Whoa. Oh.
Back to Frozen.
Nigga came with a video. What is that called? Video time? FaceTime. Oh, talking to the wife, be like, "Hey, boob, I gotta go." All right. So back to Frozen.
What was any of that about? That was so random. You're just rambling on just for the sake of rambling on.
So yeah, so in the spirit world, in the forest world, whatever, the elements exist, and I saw a lot of debate online was that people were confused if the mom was a native, but she didn't have any native features. So this led me to believe that Elsa and Anna's mom comes from the magical cave where the elements come from.
What do you mean confused? What is Keith? Keith? What is Keith? Oh, come on. I'm not getting any of this.
And that's who's calling towards her.
It was the voice calling out for it, the spirit. Something was calling out for her. Not what you said. Man, okay, whatever.
The sound, the whisper that we hear, that is their mom's spirit calling to Elsa. And one of the things at the end of the movie is that basically one of the main themes is Elsa realizing that she is like the fifth element, basically.
Yeah, she was being called out, of course. In some ways, maybe Elsa didn't want to have an adventure, but deep down she did. But yeah.
And that she has to embrace that about herself.
Excuse me. Are we still doing this? Yeah, we are. You're boring me, man. Come on.
So the song "Show Yourself" is about Elsa realizing that this whole entire time, what's calling towards her is herself, basically.
Okay, it was acting all... No, that was not what that was. Okay, this is a really bad review, you know.
And she has to embrace the fact that she is the fifth element.
Oh yeah, the whole self-discovery thing. Oh, you got that, but not the other bits? Oh boy, this is really bad. Maybe I can just watch OnlyFans kind of a thing after this video, I guess. Whatever.
And it's just very confusing because the movie doesn't really directly tell you that.
Well, the fact you missed it is on you. The film does not have to directly tell you. Oh boy. Film is a visual medium. It is not the film's font. You can't pick up on any cues. The film can use images to tell the story, and that's what this movie did.
So it's a lot of like putting the pieces together, and that's my interpretation of it. I would love to.
Its message was conveyed rather well. It was on you that couldn't get it. Oh boy. Why'd you have to explain this?
Hear your interpretation of it, you guys. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought,
yeah, I know this can sound really rude, but can you speed it up? I'm already on my 5th beer. I'm getting a little tipsy. Yeah.
Into the Unknown was a great song.
My personal favorite was Show Yourself because it was such a great character moment for Elsa. But that's just me.
I love how they used the chime, the chime from the spirit.
How's that you get some of the symbols that was on the rocks and stuff, but not the story itself? That baffles me.
Inside the songs, it was very catchy. I also liked
just because you like the song doesn't necessarily mean it's good. I mean, that's not a stab towards the movie or anything, of course. But again, he's not explaining why he likes the song. I like the music in this one because it does help to push the story forward in one way or another.
Lost in the Woods, it's a very 80s inspired breakup song, which is really funny. I thought Olaf was kind of annoying. I mean, I think he's always been annoying, but I found him extremely annoying in this movie.
Okay, Olaf was never annoying. Charming, sure, but never annoying. But explain how he's annoying.
And I really liked Show Yourself. At first, I thought that Show Yourself was about the mom, because when you go into the cave, there's a lot of images of her. But if you listen closely to the songs, it's like she was keep kind of saying like, "Show yourself, I've been waiting for you," and but towards the end of the song, it's like it's the lyrics change to "Show yourself, I am the you are the one that you have been waiting for." So within that, this whole entire time that the song is the meaning of the song reflects the fact that she is a person that she is seeking for, and she doesn't.
Elsa isn't a queen. How many times do I have to bring this up? Ugh. I mean, still got a lot of stuff wrong, though. And I'll just insert this right here because, honestly, I was actually turning off while we was talking about stuff about the film. Not because it's a bad movie. I actually like Frozen 2. Yes, in a lot of ways, I do think it's an improvement over the first one. Not that the first one is a bad movie by any means. Sure, both are actually great in their own way. There's some stuff I liked more in the first one, and there's some stuff I liked more in the second one. Well, that dude just really, really bored me and had a really piss poor review, if you can call it that. So I just drifted off a little bit. I put this here, and I was going to question a lot of people's sexuality. I don't know what this has to do with anything, but I guess here we go. I guess. Look at that. Pink chair, long hair, and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. You got a nice face, long hair. Yeah, I bet you're looking real cute.
She's the one that she needs to embrace, because for a long time Elsa keeps holding back her powers and not embracing the fact that she is like an element. And so I did like the
Okay, what specifically about the song did you like? What exactly? Tell me. Explain.
that meaning of that song, and then that theme that carries through at the end, towards the end of the movie.
Okay, how is that you can understand certain parts of the film, but not the film entirely? It fits really well together, you know. As for example, you can see that right in the beginning of the film, when they're in the bedroom, you can see both characters, these sisters, have really have matured and promised to stick to each other no matter what. Just because you're young doesn't mean you can't mature. And then later on in the film, we see this again where Anna gets really mad at Queen Elsa for going right into fire. Don't do that. If you don't want me going to fire, then don't go into fire. Mind you, Elsa is the one that made the mistake because she pissed off her sister. Because the sister realized she's making the same mistakes as the first one, pushing her away. And then again, there's the whole part of the giants. Elsa does have that determination to go do what she wants. This can be traced back to the relationship she had with their own mother. I mean, so yeah, it just comes off you're intentionally underselling the movie for some reason. Yeah, what is up with that? It's either that or you're just terrible at making reviews. But you've already made quite a bit of podcasts in your SoundCloud account, so practice makes perfect, I guess. Maybe it's just me being optimistic here, I guess you can say. But yeah, you do need some work.
One of the main plot points is that, yeah, this movie essentially is about kind of like Thanksgiving, where the natives get betrayed by the people from what's the city called? Fuck, I just the where Elsa and Anna are from.
No. It happened because of this guy for being an asshole. That's it. He betrayed the natives, which Elsa found about later when she went into that cave-like thing or whatever. And the Arendelle soldiers were just following orders. That was it. That didn't mean they agreed with it. Oh boy. And also, how can you not know what the name of Arendelle is? Come on, give me a break here. You're not making any sense.
And they are basically betrayed by them, and they have to realize that
You're not getting into detail really. You're not being specific. It does feel more grown up, considering the fact that the whole bit things never change, but then they ultimately do, which causes her to be really depressed. and Elsa discovers that she's the reason that the parents died. So it gets into the whole term where it explains survivor's guilt, I guess you can say, which all of this are very adult themes, very mature themes when you think about it. Sends them away, then Princess Anna tries to move the little boat, but they actually didn't go to this cave thing. Well, Olaf dies temporarily, of course. And then Queen Elsa dies, which means she can be killed. So Anna feels like she can never have these memories again, but she realizes she has to pick herself up and whatnot. Yes, it's depressing, but it takes a really courageous person to have a lot of courage to pick themselves up again. See, you're not being very specific here, really, at all.
That they weren't they were the bad guys in the situation, and they're Elsa and Anna are making up for the past.
What are you talking about? How can they be making up for the past mistakes and they never knew it right away? You found out about it later, sure. What he did was done behind everybody's backs, so it's kept a secret. So that means the soldiers didn't know about it. Uh, so how can they end up making for something they didn't realize? Oh, well, again, at least not at first anyway. And even Elsa and Anna knew about it right away. Later, yes, but come on, man.
The past of their ancestors, and they're making up for that by
Sounds like you're projecting. How can they be doing that if they didn't know up? I just asked this. I literally just asked this. Ugh.
letting this town finally live and breathe in magic.
I'm talking about Arendelle or the Enchanted Forest. The Enchanted Forest was not a town. And Arendelle was a kingdom, to be more exact.
Because the people from that town were afraid of it.
I think you're getting the storylines mixed up with the first one. They weren't afraid of magic in the second movie. Anyway.
And I did like that. I felt that that was a very the movie came out like on Thanksgiving, so I felt that that was a very look very nice look at it, especially for kids who might.
Okay, that's where you're wrong again. Frozen 2 isn't really for kids because it does go into some pretty dark themes. But to be more technical, yes, well, it is a family movie, but it's not a kids movie. And yes, there is a difference. A family movie could explore more mature themes compared to a kids movie. The original Harley Quinn from the animated series of Batman. This one comes off way more kid friendly compared to, let's say, let me see here. Oh yeah, Injustice 2, because, well, that thing speaks for itself. Yeah, you see, there's an obvious difference. But that's kind of the thing I'm speaking about here. Just because, I don't have to say anymore. You get it.
Be taught the history of Thanksgiving and then think that like
Sounds like you're really projecting right here again. When did this movie was ever about Thanksgiving? Oh yeah, I know there's a whole history where the natives were mistreated by certain other group of people and whatnot, which is of course terrible. But that's not what this movie is about. Yes, it has diverse, sure, but still.
the pilgrimage were the good guys in the scenario. I think that's a good way to teach them, hey, like this has also happened in our own lives. So
Again, when did this ever occur in the film? A lot of the vast majority of the conflict had occurred because the one backstabber, pretty much, he caused a lot of this to happen, and therefore caused what the first movie to happen as well, when you think about it. So, what you're talking about is in neither movie, like, at all.
but overall, I thought the movie was really good. I thought the themes are really fun. They were really powerful.
I know you're trying to do a positive spin on this movie, which in itself isn't necessarily bad. I'm fine with messages. If you're going to do like a historical thing, but add like a fantasy princess thing to it, fine, be my guest. But you're still wrong, though. You're still wrong.
The music I thought was really great. It was really like one of the best.
The music, the best. The music, the best. The music, the best. You're repeating yourself again. You keep saying that over and over again, yet you haven't explained why.
I think Disney songs in a long time. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the movie. The only thing that got me like kind of like lost in my head was the whole origin story with their mom, because they don't really explain.
The film does not have to spoon feed you the message. The film does explain who was the mother and whatnot, and what happened with Elsa exactly. There's some connection there. So, again, you did not pay attention whatsoever.
Really much about her and the meaning with Elsa. Like, our day was their mom from the cave? Is she a full like a living embodiment of a spirit?
You're being mistaken right there, of course. It did explain that. Elsa has to find herself, strangely unsettled after hearing a mysterious voice that's calling out to her. She travels to this enchanted forest, which was spun about when they were kids. And she makes a big discovery and whatnot about herself and whatnot. And yes, it explained that her mother has some sort of connection to all this.
Does she have powers? Because it doesn't really seem like she does. And how did Elsa get her powers then?
Okay, you're not listening. Elsa's gifts or powers were a gift from the spirits, but the natives were shocked about this because they only trust magic and not the outsiders. So it has something to do with the mother. Again,
That's one of the things that the movie didn't dive into, and I would love.
it is explained in the movie. It has something to do with the spirits and whatnot, and the enchanted forest.
I would have loved them to explain, but I think it leaves it up in the air so like fans can.
They had. It's all connected to the enchanted forest. Their father and their mother. It so explains how all this is connected. The song you literally just got to bring up earlier, it tells you right there. It connects everything. It's like there.
Okay, now where now? No,
Right there.
I'm having
Right,
some trouble
it's
here.
right there. It's right in front of you.
Oh, okay. No, I can hear you. Volume's not a problem. I'm just not quite seeing what
Okay,
you're referring
Then
to there.
fly out the window.
Up here,
Just-
maybe?
No,
Is
to
it,
your,
no,
to your
that's
left.
not it. That's just more
No,
wall.
how many eyes do you have? Huh? How many?
Just two, same number as you, but
then
I'm just
go.
I'm not
Oh,
getting
my
it.
God,
Whatever it is you're driving at, I'm just apparently not getting
you're
it. So
right
I'm just
there.
going to go back upstairs.
Have this conversation. But yeah, overall, guys, I thought the movie was great. If you liked it, let us know. Basically, give us a shot.
How can you say it's a great movie when you're acting all confused as all hell? I mean, really.
Out in a comment. And yeah, and we'll catch you guys on another episode of.
Hate to break it to you, that'll probably be a negative. So, maybe, I don't know. Probably not. So, that was it, folks. That's all you had to say for this film. He got a lot of it wrong. I mean, there's other things I want to bring up to explain why he's wrong. Yeah, but this video is already lengthy enough. It's already pretty damn long as it is. So, yeah. So, to be completely honest with you, folks, I'm just gonna leave it with you, okay? I was looking for an excuse to talk about Frozen 2, since I wasn't really talking about Frozen 2 specifically as much as I did in the previous Disney movie marathon, so I just thought this would be a good way to actually do it. So, I do appreciate anybody for watching this, of course. I do appreciate anybody for looking, even though it's extremely long. But yeah, thank you, anybody. Thank you very much. Of course, I don't want nobody to get hurt, of course. It's just that dude is really wrong. It's really, 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 really wrong. But yeah, it's just, I did like the film, of course. And I know some people out there want a third film to be made, but leave it alone. Not every movie needs to have like 50 sequels. I mean, if you are gonna do a third movie, be really careful, I guess. There's the whole bit of the, what you will call the third part curse. Which, yeah, it sounds like a whole separate other video can do with the third part curse. Folks, and that'll be it. I just had to review a review, I guess you can say. Okay, one last thing, I guess you can say. Hey, Kevin Swanson. Keep ass, pal. Yeah. Fuck right off. I mean, really. Later.